Open a book, dear listener, and let us travel back in time. To a land of sun-baked sands and towering pyramids, a land where the Nile River whispered secrets to the Sphinx. We journey to ancient Egypt, to the reign of a queen who became legend, Cleopatra VII Philopator. Cleopatra was born in 70 or 69 BC as the daughter of Ptolemy XII Auletes, the king of Egypt and a descendant of one of Alexander the Great's generals. She belonged to the Ptolemaic dynasty, which ruled Egypt as Greek monarchs for almost 3 centuries. She was the only Ptolemaic ruler who learned the native Egyptian language and claimed to be the reincarnation of the goddess Isis. Cleopatra was a princess destined for greatness. Her father was a weak king more interested in luxury than governing. Yet amidst the chaos of the court, Cleopatra blossomed. She learned languages, mastered philosophy, and immersed herself in the ancient wisdom of Egypt. At the age of 18, Cleopatra ascended the throne, but her rule was challenged by her brother Ptolemy XIII. A puppet of powerful advisors, he tried to seize power. A civil war broke out. Cleopatra had to flee Egypt. But Cleopatra was not someone who could be easily dethroned. Meanwhile, one of the most powerful Romans was Julius Caesar, who had just won a civil war against his rival Pompey. Caesar went to Egypt after his rival, who took refuge there. But Ptolemy's advisors killed him, believing that this would please Caesar. They were wrong. Caesar was angry and disgusted. Cleopatra saw an opportunity to win Caesar's support and regain her throne. She disguised herself as a servant and had herself smuggled into Caesar's palace, wrapped in a carpet. She then revealed herself to Caesar and charmed him with her wit and intelligence. Caesar was captivated by Cleopatra and became her lover and ally. Their relationship was a whirlwind. Some called it a love story, others a calculated alliance. Whatever the truth, their union proved to be a political masterstroke. Caesar, captivated by Cleopatra's intelligence and beauty, recognized the strategic importance of Egypt. Caesar and Cleopatra fought against Ptolemy and his allies, and won. Ptolemy drowned in the Nile and Cleopatra became the sole ruler of Egypt. She and Caesar celebrated their victory and love in Alexandria. They also had a son whom they named Caesarion, meaning Little Caesar. However, their love was tragically short-lived. In 44 BC, Caesar was assassinated by a group of senators who feared that he was becoming too powerful and wanted to restore the Roman Republic. Cleopatra was heartbroken and scared. She returned to Egypt and tried to protect her son and her kingdom. Cleopatra sought refuge in another powerful Roman named Mark Antony, a general and politician. She met Antony in the city of Tarsus, where her beauty and charm struck him and soon fell in love with her. He followed her to Egypt, where they became lovers and allies. Antony and Cleopatra resided in Alexandria, indulging in a life of luxury and extravagance. They bore 3 children, but their intense love was also destructive. After becoming embroiled in a tangled web of ambition and war, Antony and Cleopatra challenged the power of Rome. However, Octavian, who controlled the Western Roman Empire, was not pleased with their actions. He aimed to eliminate them both and take over Egypt. As a result, he declared war on Antony and Cleopatra. In 31 BC, the last battle of the war occurred at Actium, a location in Greece. Octavian's navy confronted Antony and Cleopatra's fleet and, despite their military expertise, they were outmatched and defeated. Octavian declared victory and pursued them to Egypt. Antony and Cleopatra made their last stand in Alexandria, where they were surrounded by Octavian's forces. They tried to negotiate with Octavian, but he refused to spare them or their children. He wanted to capture them alive and parade them in Rome as his trophies. Cleopatra, knowing that she would lose her dignity and freedom, decided to end her life. She sent a message to Antony saying that she was dead, and he, believing her, stabbed himself in the chest. He was brought to Cleopatra, who was still alive, and died in her arms. Cleopatra refused to be paraded as a Roman prisoner. She killed herself by letting a poisonous snake bite her. She died on her terms, the last pharaoh of Egypt, a woman who defied expectations and carved her place in history. Cleopatra's story is one of ambition, love, and tragedy. She was a queen who defied convention, a ruler who fought for her people, and a woman who ultimately chose death over surrender. Though history remembers her as a temptress, she was so much more. She was a leader, a scholar, a warrior, and a true queen of Egypt.